and welcome to my new session on economics chit chat today. Well, today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic called as the digital education in rural India. Of late, we have been seeing that the education system in India has been moving towards different angle altogether. People are spending more and more time in terms of learning through computers, through the digital mode altogether. Definitely, this is a sort of development which I would say. But this development is not happening for everybody across India. Why? Because if you start seeing, there are many a times where the rural children are not able to get the benefits of digital education. They are again and again being compressed by the factor saying that infrastructural support is not there, and that's why they are not able to get what they want. Now, for a country, in terms of development, education forms a very, very crucial sector altogether. Why? Because it's education that leads to job, that leads to a skill set through which you will be able to understand and grow further. But in India, what is happening is that education is becoming a pricey sector which is not being affordable for everyone. So today what is happening to the rural India is that even though they are interested to learn, they are interested to come out, but they are not getting that enough support from the government as well as from the people so that they will be able to move forward. So this is the right time for us to think from a developmental standpoint that if you want to improve the economy, you need to improve the rural background first. How can you improve the rural background? You need to start understanding that you have to first educate the teachers in the rural India. You need to provide them enough infrastructural support and training so that what happens, the bottom of the curve starts flattening and starts growing up. Now, what has happened when you compare between the rural and the urban sector altogether? Because of the exposure to technology, because of the exposure to knowledge factors, the urban teachers are able to gather up fast and they are able to teach further. In fact, they are able to teach better. But for the rural teachers, though they have the knowledge, though they also put in enough effort and they have also come up through the hard way, but they are not able to cater to their own students' need because technology is forming a challenge to them. So economically, if you start looking, though the children are interested to learn, though the children are creating a demand for knowledge, but there is not enough supply of knowledge because of the infrastructural challenges. So that is why we now need to start looking forward in terms of building up the knowledge, in terms of building up the rural infrastructure. Now, if you roughly look into a state like Karnataka itself, about 3.5 lakh students who write the PUC examinations every year come from the rural side. So if you look, about more than 30% of the rural setup is from a different kinds of background altogether. Now they are not able to move up the ladder, or they are not able to promote themselves because they are not getting enough support in terms of the teaching and also in terms of the digital aid altogether. Now why am I harping on this topic is that with Reliance coming up with 5G and probably most of the telecom companies trying to expand their infrastructure and build better network, I would suggest them to take this opportunity to expand in the rural sector first rather than coming out only in the urban cities. Recently, you might have seen that Airtel has come up with an application called as Blue Jeans. That is one of the secured way of doing communication, that is group communication through mobile, through internet altogether. So that will be a platform through which you can conduct meetings in a remote manner. Now, I want Airtel or companies like Airtel to focus on the rural sector more so that they will be able to connect the children to their teachers and through which the learning can happen in a better manner altogether. Now, if you are looking at any of the telecom companies, infrastructural companies, their emphasis has always been only in promoting the urban areas. Why? Because they feel that the revenue comes only from urban sector. But then if you start looking at the rural sector altogether, the rural India altogether, there is even more larger population who are ready to embrace the technology and start moving forward. So this will be the right time for every single telecom company in our country to expand their 5G network and start focusing on rural education system so that they are able to get the benefit of it. Plus, if you look into the developed countries, what they have tried to do here is that they have tried to expand the basic facilities right from the rural centers, from the remote villages, and then they have come through the urban cities. So similarly, for India, if you look at the growth of rural education, that is quite less when compared to that of the urban education. Now, if you look at certain app developers based education like Byju's or Vedantu and all those people, definitely they have made a remarkable growth by promoting their system, their knowledge through online, no doubt about it. But then what happens in the rural sector is that because the teacher is not enabled to teach, there are not enough platforms for them to teach, all these applications do not make a sense to them. Now most of the time they are not even able to get proper signal, there is no proper bandwidth, or people are not able to understand how they are able to connect in terms of the modern technology. So for India, when we are talking about digital economy, digital growth or the digital education altogether, they first need to start concentrating at the rural sector rather than just looking at the urban sector. Similarly, if you look at the competitive skills and the necessary livelihood skills, we have again concentrated only towards the urban sector and not towards the rural sector altogether. So now what happens is that for every rural child who is studying in a village, in a remote area, will try to migrate himself outside that town and come towards the city. So automatically what happens, even from an employment standpoint, the rural sectors will remain vacant. They will not be able to get back their people and promote for their own village development. So this is where the government of India needs to take a bold step and start enabling the villages through digital education or through the internet mode altogether. So that if they are able to create a stable platform and make all their people believe that there is an opportunity to grow, automatically the rural India will start stabilizing and they will start promoting themselves to better platform, to better stages altogether. With this, I would like to conclude today's session. Thank you for joining me today in the Economics Chit Chat. I hope and believe that you will be interested in promoting, in giving out your suggestions and opinions to me. Do subscribe to my channel. Do feel free in order to write down your opinions and ideas. We will keep sharing knowledge with among us. Thank you once again for joining me today. Have a great day.